Hello and welcome to BQ Prime. I'm your host Vikas Srivastava, and today we have with us Mr. Praveer Sinha. He's the Managing Director and CEO of Tata Power. Today we are going to talk about the results of Tata Power and also what are the company's plans going ahead in the future. Welcome to BQ Prime, Mr. Sinha.
Thank you, Vikas, and always a pleasure to be part of your
Yes.
show.
We have seen that there had been a very good quarterly numbers overall consistently over the last 9 months. And I would like to know that what has been the major drivers for this growth? Because we have seen that this performance has been very good across segments. So your take on that?
You're absolutely right, Vikas, that this quarter has been good. The revenue, the EBITDA, the PAT, everything has grown. But so has been last many quarters. In fact, the last 3 quarters, our PAT has grown by 90%. And in this quarter also, it's grown by nearly 90%. And this is the 13th consecutive quarter in which we have shown a growth in our PAT numbers. So there is a lot of stability which has come in our performance, and all the existing operations and the new businesses that we have entered into have started showing results. Starting from our coal-based and hydro-based power plants, that is the cash cow of the company, and all of them are doing very well. Quarter on quarter, their performance is consistent. And this quarter, fortunately, even our Mundra plant showed very good performance. It always used to have a challenge of tariff not being cost reflective. Fortunately, because of the Section 11 directions and the tariff which was determined by CRC, it has become cost reflective. And I do hope this will be the new benchmark going forward for fixing the new tariff or the supplementary PPA that we are in finalization with the procurers that will get finalized. Similarly, our transmission and distribution operations have done exceedingly well. All our transmission operations are showing very good results. So also our distribution business, and especially I would like to mention about the Visa distribution, which we took over about 2 years back. When we had taken over, the AT&C losses used to be in the 30 to 38% range. Now we have been able to bring down to the range of about 20-22%. And hopefully in the next financial year, you will start seeing that it will come down below 20%. And the benefit of that will accrue to the company. Our new businesses, especially in the renewable sector, has started showing very good results. The utility scale projects, we already have 4 gigawatt of operational plants. And another 3 are under implementation, and some we are expecting the orders to be received. They will get implemented in next 12 to 18 months. And the full benefit of that will come in the year FY25. Our rooftop and group captive also are doing very well. A lot of traction in the market and very good orders we have received. Most of them will get implemented in next 12 to 18 months. So I think all in all our businesses are doing very good. Our new capacity that we are setting up for a 4 gigawatt manufacturing of cell and 4 gigawatt of module work is going on at full swing. The modules will start coming from August, September, and the cells from December onwards, and will stabilize within the next financial year. So I do expect the benefit of all these investments that we are making will start showing in FY24, some of them, and in FY25, of course, you can see the full benefit of all these businesses.
Okay. So as you said, across segments you have performed well. Just wanted to know, this PLF has gone almost to 72% compared to the national average of in 60s. So what's been driving this PLF generation? Is it the demand pickup or merchant sales? So what exactly is driving your generation?
So the demand pickup has been there. The consumption of power in last 9 months has gone up by nearly 10%. And even in a month like December, the consumption has gone up by 12%. So there is a huge demand
Yeah.
of power, whether it is industrial demand or it is the commercial and offices demand, or even the residential demand and the rural demand, because of the government's Saubhagya scheme. All villages in the country are mostly now is fully electrified, and hence the consumption of power has seen a huge increase in last 1 year. Secondly, when we produce power, we produce at the lowest cost, and power is scheduled based on the uh, merit order. Since our tariffs are lower in most of the states wherever it is being procured, we are able to schedule more power, and that is why you have seen that our PLFs are much better. In some cases, in some states, we are about 85-90% availability. 85-90% in terms of PLF. Our availability in any case is always 95% plus. So merit order helps us to schedule these power and dispatch this power. And I'm sure that the low cost power that we generate will help us to continue the operations at very high level of PLF in future.
What helps you to bring down the cost of power compared to others?
So many of our plants are very close to coal mines. So our Maithon plant is very close to the coal mine in Dhanbad area. The Prayagraj plant is also close to the northern coal fields. And then the imported coal also, we have been fortunate to tie up a lot of spot purchases, a lot of coal which were mid-sea, and we procured it from the market. And we could get very good and attractive rates of all these coals. So even in imported coal, we are one of the lowest cost producer, and that's why our power gets dispatched to all the states.
Right. And so, as you have already mentioned during the con call also, that you expect the peak demand to go up to almost 240 gigawatt this summer. So, do you think that we are expected to meet this challenge going ahead, or would there be again, the kind of situation that we witnessed last year of supply constraint and shortages? So, what exactly would control or help us, kind of mitigate that situation?
So I think we need to look at it from two perspectives. One is the demand is going up, and this summer, while some people have said that it would be around 230 gigawatt, my feeling is it will definitely be more than 230 gigawatt, more towards 240 in that range. And this requires that all our capacities which are there, whether they are conventional generation, coal-based, domestic coal, imported coal, all our renewable capacities, they operate at full availability. We have seen some capacity additions that have happened in last 1 year in renewable space. They will start generating at full capacity during the summer months. So also many of our conventional generation, which were last year handicapped with less quantity of coal, or some of our imported coal-based plants, if timely decision is taken and Section 11 is imposed, then they can also all operate at full capacity. So I think a lot of steps have been taken by the government. And also, in general, the availability of domestic coal has improved. There is a much better stock position in most of the power plants. And with the ramping up of dispatches of coal through road come rail, and also rail, I think we will be in a much better position to meet the peak requirement of the country.
This domestic coal enhancing the output, do you think that commercial coal mining would also help us augment that situation going ahead? And what is Tata Power's current status on their coal mines, commercial coal mines?
So I think we need help from everyone. So whether it is commercial or it is through the CIL and their subsidiary coal mining. So every partner who is participating in this coal supply and mining has to participate and contribute. Tata Power is not into commercial coal mining. So we are not in that business, but all the other players who are there, I'm sure they would ramp up their capacity and will be able to maximize the supply during the coming summer months.
But would you be interested in participating in commercial coal mining bids going ahead?
No, we are not getting into commercial coal mining. That's not our core area.
Okay. And as far as Indonesia business is concerned, coal business is concerned, you have shown some remarkable, profits, 900 crore in Q3, I think. So there is also some 34 crore loss that you have mentioned in SPV, coal SPV. What exactly is that?
So the coal mining is done by the coal mining company,
Right.
but some of the other features are taken care by the other companies in terms of transportation of coal or the barging that is being done or unloading facilities that they are creating. So those are in the coal SPVs which are there, which provide support services to the coal mining company. And there, because of the offtake being little less in the last quarter, they have shown losses. But otherwise, on an overall basis, because of good prices of coal in the market, they have been able to generate a much better profit. And we expect that if they are able to control their operational cost, and if the coal prices, even if it comes down, they would still be able to make a substantial profit.
What is the kind of level that you see for coal prices going ahead, midterm to long?
So I think the coal prices went up to $300 in the HBA uh, indexation. This may come down to about 200, 220 level in next 1 year. And it will take about another 2, 3 years to come down to $100 or below $100 level. So it will be little stretched in the coming years, primarily because there is a huge demand of power in most of the countries, including China and India. Also because we still have the war which is still there. Till such time situation stabilizes, we will continue to see that there is a huge demand on coal, and the prices of coal will continue to be little high.
Do you somehow find it conflicting to have an Indonesia business and also to have the Mundra plant here in India? Because on the one hand, your Indonesia business is successful making profits, but you have to import at a higher price for the Mundra plant. So some kind of challenge, some kind of conflict, anything that you see?
So, as I mentioned to you, when we look at the Mundra operations, we bring some quantity from Mundra, but it is not that everything comes out of that. We also always scan for lower cost of coal. Any spot purchase that we can get, any mid-sea distress sale which is there, we try to take the benefit of that and pass it on to the consumers by having lower imported price of coal. And we always work towards ensuring that how we are able to bring down the overall cost of power to the consumers from Mundra. So that's as far as the coal prices and the coal mine, it's a separate company. We are only one of the stakeholders or financial investor. The operations and the management is controlled by a separate company, and they of course keep on operating in such a way that they are able to minimize their cost of fuel that they use, especially in operating the machines over there. They keep on working towards that to ensure that their cost of production comes down and they are able to get better returns.
So coming to Mundra plant, after it's been merged with the parent, what's the performance like? What is the status of the current units which are operational? Given one that you are operating under Section 11, you operated till December 31st, and you're planning to sign agreements and going ahead. But what about other units, and how do you see this supplementary tariff to kind of be, really taking it ahead, your plant's performance?
So the plant performance has been very good. Mundra is a supercritical machine that we have, and it continues to operate at very high efficiency and produce power at a very, very low cost compared to all the other imported coal-based plants. We expect that whatever will be the new tariff will be benchmark on the tariff that has been determined by CERC to ensure that it becomes cost reflective. The purpose of all this is that if it remains cost reflective, it will operate at full capacity. If it is not cost reflective, then it is very difficult to continue its operation. So I think we will be able to work out an arrangement so that it becomes a cost reflective tariff, and it is to that extent a very efficient plant and can be scheduled under merit order.
Right. What are the current losses that we are seeing at Mundra?
So,
under recoveries and also overall losses till date that we have from Mundra?
We have incurred losses in each of the quarters, but at least the period during which under Section 11 it was operated, it was cost reflective. So there is whatever is the cost that one has incurred is being given in the tariff. But other than that, whatever power we had produced before that or during the period more than whatever is in the Section 11, we continue to incur certain losses.
So in your total debt that you have mentioned, around 49,000 crore gross debt, some 21,000 is for Tata Power standalone. How much of that is Mundra? Though Mathan and others are mentioned separately.
Yeah.
So
what happened is that to safeguard the interest of Mundra, a lot of loan which were on Mundra account was taken over by Tata Power, and there was some loan still left in Mundra. So all the loan that was taken for running this plant is eventually on Tata Power books.
Right. Okay. And how much is still pending to be paid?
It's about 10,000 crores of debt which is still there.
What is the term period during which it has to be?
It has to be done. I think the plant life is till 2038, and before that we need to complete it.
Okay. So moving to your distribution business, you said that your new business in Odisha, that's doing really well, and we have seen that you have brought down the AT&C losses also, couple of them. But southern and central discoms, I think they are still making losses. How soon we expect them to be kind of performing in a same as northern and the western distribution?
So if you see our consistent performance, southern and central also made a profit in last 2 quarters. But this quarter, because of certain changes in the billing that they were doing and some of the bills which were given to customers which had to be corrected. So because of that reason, it has a loss which has been shown for this quarter. But I think going forward, we will be in a position to ensure that all the 4 discoms make profit.
So, for your renewable business, you have also planned to enter into green hydrogen business. And you were planning to, some analysts told me that you are planning to do some test runs or pilot for these projects. So which are the locations you are looking at, and what's your plan going at capacity?
So we are looking within the group to work with some of the companies within the group, Tata Steel, Tata Motors and others, to see where we can do some pilot projects and learn in terms of how do you implement the project, how do you bring down the cost, how do you improve efficiency. So we will be doing certain projects in the hydrogen space.
Okay, but you have not yet decided like who you would like to partner with?
It's still under discussion, so I think it will still take some more time for us to really identify and pinpoint that what sort of project we would be doing.
And solar panel business, you already said that by September end you are planning to start your module facility.
Absolutely.
Full capacity will be by when?
By next year, March, we should be able to ramp up full capacity.
And cells by December?
And cells will start in December, and that will get ramped fully by June next year.
June. And what's the kind of total investment and capex that you have planned for this financial year and next financial year?
So the total capex on the project is nearly 3,400 crores, and between this year and next year, we will complete the total project. At Tata Power level, we have planned this year about 10,000 crores of capex.
Oh. And so, as far as your debt plan is concerned, how soon you plan to reduce? And every year, is there any set target that you want to reduce it by so much? to bring down your debt
You
level?
see, now we are a growing organization and we are doing large amount of capex. I mentioned to you that utility scale, we will be adding 3 gigawatt of capacity. We are adding capacity of our new cell and module plant. We are doing investment in transmission business in Mumbai, in distribution in Odisha and other places. We are doing investment in the distribution network and the technology solutions over there. So there is a large amount of capex that we are incurring, and this will be met partly through debt and partly through better internal accruals and working capital management. So while there will be certain increase in debt, on an overall basis, what is important to see is that what is your debt equity ratio and how you are able to manage that and how you are able to manage your debt EBITDA numbers and things like that. So I think what is important is how we are able to, on an overall basis, in terms of the debt metrics which is there, are able to handle this. And I think as an infrastructure company, we are doing very well. Our debt equity is something like 1.2. It used to be at one time 3. Our debt EBITDA numbers have come down less than 4. It's in the 3.5 range. So I think we've done very well on an overall basis in terms of managing our financial metrics.
Recently, you got some equity partners for your renewable business. So would you still be looking at listing or doing an IPO for renewable business?
No, not now. The equity that has come will help us to enhance our capacity in renewable business, including the manufacturing. And at this stage, we want to use this money for our growth plans for next 2-3 years. And thereafter, we'll examine if there is an opportunity.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot for sparing us